नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। This is JVN Professor Dr. Anil Kumar Wangani, HOD, Department of Repertory. So I welcomes you again at 1 p.m. class in May 2020 during lockdown period on digital version 2.0 JVWU platform, which is the best women's university in India. We are delivering these digital sessions on YouTube video channel at the link given here under, which you can see, as per a schedule provided by the university having the best homeopathic college in Jaipur. Please listen carefully, and I hope this session will satisfy your quest for knowledge. And if any doubt arises in your mind, drop your queries in comment box, which will be answered by me in problem solving session as allotted by the university. Let us now begin with the digital session, which is titled Kant's Way of Second Prescription Part 2. In Part 1, I have discussed about certain basic principles of making second prescription, in which the foremost thing was that second prescription is to be done after first one has acted. Means first one has given proper time to display its action. The secondary action of medicine has arrived. If the first prescription was based on similia and susceptibility of the patient was met properly, it will act, it must act, and it will furnish certain symptoms on the basis of which second prescription will be made. Dr. Kant codified 12 responses after an indicated remedy is given to a patient during first prescription. So, according to him, a protocol has to be set. What to do on various responses aroused after giving the first prescription. So, these protocol he has divided in 12 parts. So, amongst them, the first response or the first rule is prolonged and final decline of the patient. When you give the medicine, there is prolonged aggravation and the situation of the patient is going on declining. This means that the disease is incurable and you have provided with very high dynamized medicine, which is quite similar, and it has aggravated the condition of disease. Now the second observation, long aggravation but final slow improvement. It means that you have given the similar in a quite uh, similar or required potency, and the aggravation is there initially, which is long, but there is finally slow improvement. That means early pathological changes were there, which vital force was able to overcome the patient, and you are lucky enough to cure him. The third observation is the most ideal observation of homeopathy, that is a quick, short, strong aggravation with rapid improvement of the patient. This is the most required observation, which is known as homeopathic aggravation. There is quick, intense, short time aggravation with feeling of betterment mentally, and thereafter rapid improvement of the condition of the patient follows. The fourth observation is no aggravation with recovery of the patient. This is also a positive observation, that there is no aggravation, but the patient is going better and better and better. It means that the potency provided of the similia was so adequate that there was no need of initial aggravation and there is total recovery. This is also a good condition. Then fifth observation is amelioration coming first and then aggravation afterwards. It means the remedy was not fully similar, and the potency was also not so higher. So there is a little amelioration for shorter time, which again is followed by aggravation. Here we have to again give some right medicine in right potency. Then next observation is full time amelioration of symptom yet no relief to the patient. Now this is ideal palliative medicine. Here you are giving medicine in lower potency again and again where the organic changes are there. It gives relief. It gives on relief to the patient until you are giving the medicine. So it's a good ideal palliative condition. The next observation is some patients prove every remedy they get. Means they are so sensitive that the medicine even in medium or the lower potencies are fully proved on them. They are furnished with the symptoms of the medicine amongst them. So these patients, they are known as idiosyncratic. It's very hard to cure them. Then next observation is the action of medicine upon provers. Idiosyncratic patients are our ideal provers. If we go on giving the medicine in a lower dose again and again and again until some symptoms furnishes on the organism. Then we give more higher potency in doses again and again and again until more symptoms are furnished. So this is a way of drug proving. So this is our ninth observation. 10th observation is the new symptoms appearing after the administration of the remedy. When we give the remedy, the organism is furnished with some new symptoms which can be from the sphere of the medicine or from the sphere of the disease. These are known as medicinal and disease aggravation respectively. So this is not a good sign. 11th observation is the when old symptoms appear in right direction. Right direction means from center to periphery. So when old symptoms appear in such direction, these are positive signs that the patient is going to be cured. For example, if you are treating a patient of cardiac condition and some skin eruptions reestablishes which were there a few years before, according to patient's past history, that means it's a positive sign. We are reversing the disease. Then the 12th and the last observation is symptom taking the wrong direction. The old symptoms appearing, but in the wrong direction, that is from peripheral to the center. It means we have given wrong medicine in higher potency and symptoms of less important or less uh, depth, the part which are less in depth like skin are going towards the center, that is towards the vital organ, which is a wrong sign, a wrong direction. Here the medicine must be antidoted. Each of the responses had its own meaning and to be interpreted with reason. When the first remedy is capable enough to change the complaints, we have to wait for results. The change in the totality of symptoms signifies everything. If the original symptoms disappear completely without any new symptom and the patient generally feel better, it signifies a complete cure. So in total, the totality of symptom has to be watched. After giving the first medicine, it should be given full time to act. The second reaction when comes, that is the curative action of medicine when comes and gives totally relief to the patient, and the patient also feels mentally better and there is no more aggravation. That means it is the right direction of cure which we have established. Aggravation of existing symptoms may come on with general improvement of the patient, which means recovery of the case. But if aggravation of the symptoms is attended with decline of the patient, then the cure is doubtful. Means when the aggravation is there, if the patient is feeling better, it means we are in right direction. And if there is decline of the general health, it means we are in wrong direction. If amelioration comes first, follows with aggravation of the symptom, it signifies that the first prescription was not so similar, and it has worked only temporarily. It's a palliative type. So when the medicine is a quite a dissimilar one, it will give palliative effect, that means relief for a very short time, and then again the aggravation will follow after exhaustion of its action. So this action will not be maintaining for long term. In such cases, it may apply to the general state or but to the few symptoms. If the patient does not feel well, the improved symptoms are partially relieved to the distressing symptom, a good sign in incurable cases. कुछ केसेस में अगर पेशेंट अच्छा फील नहीं भी कर रहा है और इम्प्रूव सिम्टम्स हैं, कुछ पार्शियल रिलीफ है डिस्ट्रेसिंग कंडीशंस में, तो ये बताता है कि द केस इनक्योरेबल है एंड इसमें सिर्फ पैलेटिव इफेक्ट लिए जा सकते हैं. But if the first prescription is not correct, the patient will develop new symptoms that he has never experienced, which can be in the sphere of medicine or in the sphere of disease. Accordingly, they will known as medicinal aggravation or disease aggravation. And here the medicine will have to be changed and the second prescription is to be made afresh. At times, it is the symptoms of the first medicine that appear, or in other words, the patient appears to be proving the remedy. In such cases, the first prescription has not only been taken to have failed to cure the patient, but has also done some mischief. They have distressed the patient. They have complicated the original picture with some drug symptoms. This may happen in highly sensitive patients, especially the idiosyncratic patients who develop symptoms of the every given remedy. तो ऐसे पेशेंट्स पे ड्रग प्रूविंग करने में बहुत अच्छी सुविधा होती है, जो कि इतने सेंसिटिव होते हैं कि कोई सी भी ड्रग उन्हें दी जाए वो उसके सिम्टम प्रूव कर जाते हैं. Every homeopath has to observe the response of a remedy and take decision as to what he should do next based on teaching of Dr. Kent. So these 12 observations fairly guide us to select the second remedy, the second prescription as per the observations taken during the first prescription when the first remedy given has acted and has given full time to act. So Dr. Kent's observations are very beneficial in our practice to select the second prescription and take patient in the direction of cure. Dr. Constantine Herring had formulated the law of direction of cure after a well-selected remedy is given to the patient. He postulated the favorable direction of cure should be. तो डॉक्टर हैरिंग ने भी डायरेक्शन ऑफ क्योर के ऊपर अपनी एक प्रोटोकॉल जो है दी थी, एस्टेब्लिश की थी, जिसके 4 पॉइंट्स हैं. हाउ टू ऑब्जर्व दैट द पेशेंट इज गेटिंग द क्योर. The complaints improve from above downwards. The symptoms disappear from within outward, from a more important organ to a less important one, in the reverse order of their coming. These are all positive signs that the cure is being established. Based on these concepts, homeopathic physicians select an approach to make the second prescription. Then the types of second prescription. How many types of second prescription can be there on the observations made after first prescription? It can be the repetition of the first remedy. This is done when there was an improvement of the disease, but the symptoms start reappearing due to exhaustion of the action of the first dose. However, caution is that repetition should not be hasty just because the progress is not fast enough. तो हम रिपीटिशन तो करेंगे अगर दवा का असर कम होता जा रहा है, पर क्योंकि अभी बना हुआ है, हो सकता है कि स्लो एक्टिंग मेडिसिन है, अभी उसका और असर आना बाकी है, तो उसको हमें बीच में डिस्टर्ब करना नहीं है. वी हैव टू कीप इनफ पेशेंस. वी हैव टू वेट फॉर full action of the medicine to establish. The golden rule is wait to see that the action of the first medicine is exhausted and the patient really is slipping back to the old stage. तो जब वापस पुराने सिम्टम रीअपियर होने लग जाएं, आराम मिलना बंद हो जाए, पेशेंट तकलीफ में आए, तभी हम मानेंगे कि इसका एक्शन एग्जॉस्ट हुआ है. Then the second prescription may be a change of potency. This is called when the response is no longer consistent and the potency is no longer sufficient. तो जब हम देखते हैं कि स्टैंड स्टिल पे आ गया, अब आगे फायदा हो ही नहीं रहा है, जितना फायदा था वहीं रुक गया है, तब हम उसको हायर पोटेंसी देंगे. ओल्ड सिम्टम्स यहाँ नहीं आ रहे हैं जो हमें रिपीट करना पड़े, यहाँ सिर्फ हमें हायर पोटेंसी के लिए जाना है. चेंज ऑफ द रेमेडी. When new symptoms which have no relation to the earlier symptom are appearing and there is no appreciable change in the old symptoms, then a new picture is formed, and here we have to give a new medicine according to new totality established. Then intercurrent remedy. When the first prescription has given relief to the patient and physician feels there is blockage of action, then prescribe an intercurrent remedy. तो कई बार पेशेंट कुछ ऐसी चीज डाइट में, कुछ ऐसी रेजिम में कर लेता है कि उसके जो है एक्शन पूरा नहीं हो पा रहा होता है, कुछ ना कुछ ब्लॉकेज आ रहा होता है. तो वो ब्लॉकेज या तो बहुत ही शॉर्ट टर्म पेशेंट के एक्शन से कारण है या कोई मियाजमेटिक ब्लॉकेज है. तो ऐसे में हम अगर मियाजमेटिक ब्लॉकेज है, दिस वी हैव टू गिव अ नो सॉल्ट व्हिच कुड बी एन एंटी मियाजमेटिक और अ क्रॉनिक रेमेडी ऑफ अर्लियर वन. जो पिछली रेमेडी थी उसकी क्रॉनिक रेमेडी भी हो सकती है जिसको हम दें ऐसे में ब्लॉकेज रिमूव करने के लिए. तो ऐसे में रिलेशनशिप ऑफ रेमेडी काम आती है. Then second prescription may be alternation of remedies sometimes. Hahnemann sometimes uh, used to alternate bryonia with Rostop's. When we go on giving bryonia, the modality works by motion now changes